Hello everyone, this is Rakiv. So yesterday I started a Total War Warhammer very hard campaign with Grombrindal and posted the very first video. However, I decided to take a different direction and take the plunge into legendary difficulty for the very first time. So I'm hoping that my journey can maybe help others along the way, and if not, maybe at least be entertaining. So a little bit of background. I play almost as dwarves exclusively. This dates back to my time playing a dwarf warrior in EverQuest in a high-end MMO rating, so I tend to play dwarves in fantasy games and enjoy that dwarf culture, being stout and proud individuals, drink lots of beer. In Total Warhammer, I enjoy the dwarf defensive playstyle, so I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get going. But let's jump into my first legendary campaign. So we'll do a new campaign here. Hit continue. Let's take Grombrindal. So we're gonna play on legendary difficulty. Normal battle settings, though. I just like that we're giving the AI a lot of additional bonuses with legendary. But I feel that battle, it should just be basically my army versus theirs and what tactics I've got. And then we'll put the Chaos Invasion at Legendary as well. So let's jump into this. So, the Dwarves, their playstyle is very defensive, which I really enjoy. I like bringing lots of artillery and guns. It softens up the enemy. And then they have a strong front line to really hold back the advancing hordes. I like to keep all my troops alive. So this defensive nature that the dwarves have really play to the strengths of what I like in a game, and it brings a more role-playing aspect to the experience. So I keep that same group together. You know, I might switch units out and stuff, but it really brings that, hey, this is the dwarves' armies coming together. So I'm going to skip through the intro here. Alright, and so I'll try to talk about what I see difference about Legendary. Again, I haven't played Legendary campaign, so we'll see how this goes. For dwarves, we're going to start off in Karak, and we're going to upgrade that, and we'll also get a gem mine staff to start it off. For research, like I mentioned previously, I've been starting to go down this militia training to get that right away. +2 attack for warriors and miners, which isn't a huge bonus, but it'll help us in the very early game until we replace our at least the miners will be replaced in the first 10, 15 turns, but the dwarf warriors might last us up to turn 50, depending on if we get long beards or we go right to Ironbreakers. So we'll start by doing Gather the Throng to get ready for militia training. Alright, so let's take a look at Gromby's army. So Gromby is a pretty stout legendary lord, does pretty good damage. We've got some standard dwarf warriors, shielded, and lots of high armor and good leadership. Miners and blasting charges, those are great for just lots of initial damage. So as things are running towards them, they can throw these blasting charges off and really take down a unit pretty quickly. Once they get into melee, they're not as good. They're just like regular miners, but they do have that ammunition to throw those blasting charges. Regular miners are pretty weak. Iron Drakes, one of the best units in the dwarf army. They do tons of damage. Flamethrower infantry, they take a lot of micro, so you'll see that in my battles, but I really like having at least one of these in all my high-end armies. So it's great. Gromby starts with one. They'll really do most of our damage here until we get a lot more Quarrelers, which leads us into Quarrelers. Really strong missile infantry. Very good against lower armored foes. A lot of the early greenskin armies, these guys will shred them, so we'll get a lot of them to start. And then Gyrocopters, really not the best unit, kind of good for harassing at the beginning game. Also, until you get artillery, they can kind of go help take out some of the more nuisance type units, such as enemy artillery like Doom Diver catapults. So with that, let's jump right in. We'll mention that I am completely vanilla except for one mod. I do use the one button respec mod, and the reason I like to do that is I like to get all the legendary lords, and I like to at least respec them, because sometimes the AI just picks the most garbage out of some of the abilities. So I like to have the ability to respec the lord or hero once. So you can see here it says respec your lord or hero, only be done once. So it adds this button. So that's the one button respec mod, which has been a great addition for as I get Belagar or Ungrim later on, and I can make sure I use them, because I like to use legendary lords the most. Alright, let's jump into the first battle. We'll go attack Nashrak here. And we will do we'll fight the battle. These early battles are great, best to fight by yourself and not auto-resolve. Later on we'll auto-resolve some, but it's best to keep that damage to a minimum, and we'll also learn a little bit more about Legendary. So some of the things on Legendary for sure is this map will go away, and we also don't get as much information when you're hovering over. So I think those are probably the two main aspects. Also, you can't issue orders while paused unless you're in this initial setup. So let's get our Drakes set up. Let's get our Dwarf Warriors kind of in front here. They'll be the staple. We'll put these, let's see, where are their biggins? They've got a couple of archers. Their biggins are right in front. So those are going to be the most dangerous troops on the battlefield. We're going to probably have our blasting charges try to take them out at the beginning. We'll put these other miners over here to protect the Iron Drake's flank. And we'll get the Quarrelers there in front. Alright, let's get the... I like to take guard mode off of the helicopter, off of the gyrocopters, because then they'll actually chase units around. So sometimes you want them just to kind of harass and chase them. So let's get this battle going. They're probably not going to come after us since we don't have artillery. So we'll move our group up to kind of meet them a little bit. And then I'll send in the helicopter here to harass and see if I can get them to come after us. Excuse me. Alright, so no pausing now. That's probably the biggest change that I'm going to have to get used to. Not that I paused a lot, but sometimes the battle gets pretty hairy and you want to pause the game. So what happens if you haven't played Legendary and you hit pause, this little game menu comes up, so you can't really do anything while you're in it. It's really basically like a pause if you had some kind of real life emergency come up. So let's in fact, I'm going to probably have my guys fly over here, and we're going to use our bombs. Our gyrocopter bombs should be able to do a little bit of damage on those biggins. Use those up. Alright, let's get...
Move now! Strike out!
Fly around here and see if we can't... God, they're all grouped up here. It'd be nice if we had some artillery to throw down some boulders on them right now, but they don't. So we'll... what those guys are doing, those orc boys over there were following me over there. Let's go... Maybe I should save those bombs until they grouped up a little bit, but didn't really expect them to do that. Alright, they're coming over. Alright, let's retreat this guy back. I kind of delayed their archers a little bit too, so they're going to come in a little later. So let us get some damage in on their melee troops before their archers can get into range. So let's have our... Okay, the biggins went over here now, which I was hoping to use the blasting charges against them. But let's... I think the Iron Drakes will take care of them, and then our miners can come in. They'll get destroyed by the biggins if they took them on alone. Okay, so let's have him back up. They're still getting shot here. Alright, blasting charges. Alright, let's see here. Let's have them... Oh, those... Oh, we broke the biggins right now. Okay, great. Let's have him start there. They're gonna rout. Alright, let's get these guys firing at those archers. And then our Dwarf Warriors just kind of sitting back. They haven't done anything yet. I don't want to get them in the line of fire from the flamers here. The flames will do some damage to your own troops as well. Our high armor helps, but still usually best to avoid that. Now here comes the biggins are coming back. Oh, these guys are peppering these guys who broke. They still had some satchels left. Let's get these guys out of the way. biggins are gonna, those flamers are taking care of them pretty well. All right, I think those are gonna rout pretty soon. God, Dwarf Warrior's taking some damage here. They haven't done much. Let's get our Iron Drakes to come up through here. Gromby, how you doing against that guy? I think they're routing now. Yep, these ones are broken. Alright. A little more damage I'd like on those warriors. They took quite a bit of arrow fire, but decisive victory nonetheless. Only 17 losses, pretty good. Iron Drakes did a lot of good damage. 790. Quarrelers did well. Gromby did pretty well. Dished out some damage to Nashrak. So that was a pretty good victory. They took about half their forces lost. So once this gets done loading, we'll take a look at the rest of the battle, and then we'll jump into the next one. There's about 3 battles that you'll have to do on this first turn as dwarves out of Karak, either as Gromby or Thorgrim. Alright, so we have a choice of releasing captives, which gives us casualty replenishment rate decrease, which isn't good. So we'll take the execute captives to take that leadership bonus right now and keep our replenishment rate up. Oh, we got an ancestor rune right off the bat here. It could be okay. Maybe we'll put that on our miners so they don't break and they can just fight to the very end. Alright. For skills, first thing we want to focus on is the bottom blue here. We want to get to Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike allows us to take on armies one at a time, or with the greenskins and they get a Wa, it allows us to basically negate the Wa. We can take on their army without the main army, without having to take on the Wa army. So the best part to get is get 3 ranks to get up. This gets casualty replenishment rate, which is important, and then Absolute Relentless is great for campaign movement range. So those are what we'll focus on before we start going down the red line here of more of the army buffs. So we'll start with Legendary Commerce to start, which is the first one. Income from trade, which we don't have much trade. Let's see. Let's see if we get a non-aggression pact. They accepted. How are we doing with Barak Var? They are there. Let's go down here. Reichland.
It is good to see our allies of the mountain. Of course.
Yep, they accepted that. It's probably good to start off with that. I don't like to do defensive alliances because they pull you into too many wars, but keeping up with a few of the main factions is always good. Alright, so we're going to attack Nashrak next, not the town. And the reason for that is that we get to take on his army, and he will reinforce with the garrison. But then we can take the garrison out the next battle and get more experience for Gromby. So let's put this ancestor rune on our regular old miners there. So we can take this army out. They'll be done since it's their second loss. And then we'll take the garrison out. There'll be a weakened garrison after we battle him here, and then we'll fight him again in the next battle. Gromby's a little bit lower in health. I'll have to keep him back a little bit. Don't want him to take too much damage here. Alright, so let's, boy, this seems like usually I thought they're down over here, so we usually come in from this side, but, 2 things we could set up over here and take this army out right as they come out. Now it makes these guys march over. These guys do have some archers, though. It might be nice to just take them out, then focus our efforts there. That's typically what I've done lately. Let's do that way. I suppose we could come down over here and then march up here and take them on here before they come over. Let's do that. It's a little bit longer, but I think that'll be in the best interest of trying to minimize our casualties. So let's put these guys, I'll try to spread them out so they throw more of their charges right away. I think I didn't have them spread out enough. That way they have a little bit more damage spread out. Alright, let's take them off now. Let's start the battle. What are they doing here? Oh, there we go. Let's get them marching up. Must have clicked something wrong there. Set them up right there. Alright, we're going to use these gyrocopters again to kind of hold those archers back a little bit. They're going to be focused on that, and I will send in these guys to group them up a little bit. And let's drop some bombs. We must have taken out their biggins. We must have completely took them out. Enough damage last time with our Iron Drakes that they didn't even come back. That's pretty amazing. I don't think I've done that in a while. So that's good. Alright, Gromby, I'm going to have you stay back a little bit. Get you guys out here. Have you guys start firing there. And these Drakes will do short work of these guys. We'll just let these guys oh, took out Nashrak right away. Attack, get these guys going. Alright, miners will have to step up here. Okay, they're kind of broken here, but I think they might come back. They're just white flag, they don't have the skull yet. Let's move these guys up. Get them ready. Yep, see here they come back a little bit. Get our defenses set up here. Gromby might need to do some damage on this next one. Okay, we'll see if these guys can chase them off a little bit. Speed up a little bit here. Alright, they're far enough away. Now these guys have no ranged. So I think it'd be good for our helicopters to kind of take them out a little bit. Alright, we're going to have our archers focus on this side because these Iron Drakes will do well against the infantry here. Get up these blasting charges. They got a little bit of ammo left, not a lot though. Okay, so let's have you guys start there. We're going to have to get our guys charging in here pretty soon. Iron Drakes are going to start it off. Roast a little bit. Oh good, these guys split up. Hope they're coming back. That's actually better. They already broke in the front there. Let's have our Dwarf warriors come over here. Attack those guys. Let's have you guys start there. Soften them up a little bit. Pull you back so we get those archers out of the way. They're wavering there. This will just take out their confidence. Oh, look at that. Half their damage gone from that. Look at they're breaking here. Okay, they're completely broken now. So let's have these guys come up and they will make short work of these archers for sure. I love Iron Drakes. They're so much fun, especially in the early game when you don't have as many units. It gives you something to kind of micro. In big battles, it's pretty hectic, but these guys can maneuver and kind of fire down the line, which is great. They do a ton of damage. Let's not let these guys get in with those Drakes. The Drakes are not good in melee. They are still a ranged unit. Yep, they're breaking here. Saw their confidence or their morale just goes shooting down. Alright, so here's what we're going to do here, though. We're going to still fire on these guys. These guys are out of ammo, so let's pull them back. But these guys will be fighting again, so any damage we put here will be less that we have to deal with in the next battle. they're going to be severely damaged here from this, because they've grouped up nicely, so the Iron Drakes are definitely doing some damage on them. Speed that up. Man, that was great. Alright, we'll end the battle there. Decisive victory. Another great one. We only lost 9 guys. That's awesome. Look at 298. Like 2/3 of the kills went to the Iron Drakes. 104 for the... a lot of those bombs must have done some good damage. That was great. Alright. Corliss did okay. We had them focused on just kind of taking down, softening them up until they got in. 450, 1361, that's awesome. Blasting charges did 210. Helicopter did well. Gromby didn't do a whole lot. We kind of kept him out of it that time, but so that means Nashrak is done. And we got another point for Gromby. We'll do that before we get in there. Let's do get up, which will be replenishment. And let's do the battle here. We weakened him pretty good, so we'll could probably auto-resolve it, but these first battles are kind of fun. Just to exert our dominance on the greenskins here as the Dowie. They took the pillars, and that's a grudging. So we need to satisfy the grudge and definitely show them that we mean business in this campaign. Alright, we'll get our kind of standard battle formation here. In fact, I'm going to have our gyrocopters go right away and head down here and start attacking, since they don't have any range, so there's no reason why we can't. We're going to start on this side. I kind of heavily loaded up this with blasting charges and dwarf warriors. These guys will take out kind of the middle. Might as well soften up this far right so these miners don't have to do as much. I'm going to move Gromby over a little bit so these Iron Drakes don't do as much damage on it. Let's group that up to get that to a 4-pack. See if we can't do a little more bombing. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I did okay damage. I missed on that. Let's have them go outside. Actually, go to the middle. They're getting in range of the Drakes. Let's get them to step up a little bit. Go for that. You guys just start chucking those satchels. Okay, Gromby will charge in. These guys made short work of those guys with the satchels, kind of stop them too. That's what's really great about it. Kind of stops them in their tracks with the explosions. Let's pull these guys back, and we'll have our Drakes kind of attack them. Pull them back, they'll just kind of chase after them, and then the Drakes will just do some good damage on them. The Crawlers didn't do a whole lot on this one, which is surprising. Usually I use them quite a bit, but some nice tactics there. Pull these guys back, have them fire. Why are they not routed? There we go. And we don't have to get more damage, since that'll be the last battle for them. Decisive victory. And that means we get the pillars. Alright, we will occupy. Grudge removed. And another rune. Vanguard deployment. That can be somewhat helpful. That helps you just during deployment phase to be outside of the yellow box area that you normally can start in. But can be somewhat helpful. Not not overly helpful. Alright, we'll do get up. I'm going to get 3 levels of that. And pillars, I don't think I mentioned this, but we'll keep our barracks here in Karak until we can get to Squighorn. Squighorn will give us a barracks, but for right now, we're going to want to recruit some dwarf warriors. I think I am going to gamble here and keep that income down, not get the dwarf warriors right now, because Squighorn is not a very difficult battle. It's very similar to what we had with the pillars. So I think I'll take them out and then try to recruit. So with that being said, then I may want to just delete this barracks right now. I'm going to do that. So we're going to take a little gamble. See how that goes. Do the go big or go home, right? All right, so let's. We got our technology. We should be ready to end that turn. This could come back to bite me, right? They could jump over right now. I don't think I've seen too much of that happen from when I'm watching a lot of others play on Legendary, but we'll see. Alright, so we demoed that, and what we'll do instead is we'll add in, we want to get some growth going here. Dwarves are very slow growers. Alright, so let's move Gromby's army down to Squighorn. Oh, I'd stop there. Alright, we got another rune here. This is that Vanguard deployment. In fact, I think what we're going to do, this is going to be a little sneaky, we're going to put the Vanguard deployment right out on the helicopter. That way they can go right up next to the army and just start hammering them before they even get to us. Alright, let's fight battle. So that means I can put them like right up here, right up in front, so they can just start right away just shooting at them and they can't take any damage coming back. So, alright, let's pick up on this hill a little bit so we have kind of the downward facing. That can give us a little bit of a bonus. Do our miners. They can see they can Vanguard deploy all the time. The blasting charges there. Gromby's all healed up now. We'll put our helicopters right there. Take off guard mode and let's do it. You know, I might save the bombs. I usually do it right away. I might wait till they get kind of lump up and see what we can get on them. Then they can spend more time chipping away at them right now. Let's see, these guys are going to be coming in first. Let's spread these guys out a bit more. They're going to be coming up here, so maybe we can try to get some kind of crossfire action in here. I don't have a lot of troops yet, so it's hard to do a lot of tactics when you first start in here, but not a lot of army troops, or a lot of units in your army. Alright.
Iron Drakes! We demand blood! Axes out! It is a reckoning!
They're coming over here. That's interesting. Let's have them square up and throw some let's have you guys charge in.
Go! Dwarf warriors! Ranged firepower ready!
Let's get those Iron Drakes here. Are gonna shoot right down the line. Hitting our troops a little bit there. Those are probably the best placement. I should probably put them over here. It did take the morale all the way down, though. Alright, let's get these dwarf warriors coming over here. Get out of the way, let those guys fire. This is going pretty well. So they're coming in on the side. Let's get our Iron Drakes down. They used all their ammunition, so that's all the satchel charges from the blasting charges from the miners. Got these Iron Drakes just kind of chasing everyone around. Robbie hasn't done much, just have him send him over here. These guys are routing right now. Okay. Oh, that sent them into a route. Let's go take them out. And this should be victory. They are rallying back over here. Alright, let's leave the Drakes over there. I don't want the Drakes to do any extra damage on our troops, so I kind of kept them over there. They are rallying here, aren't they? Alright, let's group back up. Can't believe they're going to come back in. These guys, they may rally. Yeah, they're thinking about it. Yep, they are. That's fine. That's fine. Get some more roasted orc here. They still have lots of ammo, so that should take them down. Let's have them focus over there. Once you guys... Yep, that broke them there. Alright, once you guys come back over here, you guys get ready in case they get too close. It shouldn't be. Yep, that broke them now. Yeah, it broke everybody. Seeing their buddies get roasted, they decided, I don't want to deal with them anymore. Decisive victory. Pretty good. Pretty good battle. And these first battles all typically go pretty much the same. We'll occupy that. There's one strategy you could do is you could sack this over and over to get Gromby experience. I typically like just to occupy to try to start building it up. You know, we're going to be stuck in the Silver Road for quite a few turns. You know, sometimes I like to push up and try to get gun bad, but sometimes it's better to let them build that up and then take it, because there's some good gold mines and stuff. All depends on what Zufbar does. Sometimes Zufbar will take Ground Peak and take gun bad, then you can confederate them to get that gold. That's usually you want this when you're trying to get that second army going. It's also best another strategy is to come down and take Black Crag right away. This is where he's going to be spamming Black Orcs. So Grimgor's Ard boys will be spamming Black Orcs, and they're going to be coming up here like crazy. They'll be starting to confederate people. Usually they take this guy out, the Red Fangs, or sometimes confederate him. And so we'll see him probably jump over here very soon.
You know who I am.
So we'll get the last one of Get Up. We do have that sparring chamber that gives us some Dwarf Warriors, so that's why we deleted the other one. And it's a commandment. We are going to go for growth. And then I better recruit some. If I want this campaign to go longer than the first episode here. Better get some more Dwarf Warriors. It's going to be a little hairy until we can get Karazak Karak up to level 2, a couple turns, and then we will get a... we're going to go for the Siege Workshop. That'll give us our Grudge Throwers. That's going to make us very powerful. We'll try to get about 5 Grudge Throwers right off the bat. And then we need our Sparring Chamber at level 2 so that we can get Quarrelers. And that'll take a little bit more time because Squighorn needs to get upgraded and then upgrade this. So, alright. Well, I just did my first legendary, tried to quick save, and I don't think it doesn't work. Quick save is disabled, so it was just by habit. Alright, let's end that turn and see what happens. I'm a little scared that these guys are going to jump over with a big army that I'm not expecting on this difficulty. And we made it through the turn. Alright. Alright, now we get the Living Ancestor. So for those who don't know, Gromby gets a choice of 4 things about every, I don't know if it's every 30 turns or so. I typically almost always take this one, Paramount of Valea, because it gives casualty replenishment rate 20% in ground, and wins of magic are reduced, so it's usually a really good one for Gromby's army. At the beginning, though, I tend to lean towards apprentice to get that research rate. 20% is pretty good. I mean, obviously that's taking one turn off of some of your 4 to 5, your 5 turn research. It'd go down to 4. Also increases upkeep, building construction. We're going to be constructing a lot right now, so that 10% can add up, and we're going to be recruiting a lot. So I think this is usually the best one to take for the beginning, and then for the first 25 turns. So by about turn 30, you just kind of have a full stack, and you can kind of switch over to Valea's Protection. This one I haven't really used much. It's more of a defense. Actually, it doesn't sound too bad. All these are pretty good. They're just kind of bonuses. This one's just if you want to have a Gromby be a powerhouse, but we're going to take Apprentice. Alright, so we got 3 Dwarf Warriors recruited. I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave it at that. We're going to try to get by with 5 front lines. So what we'll eventually do is, once we complete this quest up here, I usually like to keep these miners through that quest. And, their upkeep's not bad. It's 73. Right, so it doesn't cost us a lot. It's not really that much. That's going to keep us. I usually put them in the back to take on the trolls. Grudge throwers and a few quarrelers just to do that. I probably could do it with this army, but it can get a little more hairy. They've got a Doom Diver, and it's nice to just be able to blitz the side. So you'll see that when we get to it. But I like to keep 5 frontline troops. We'll keep the miners the blasting charges for right now, since they do some good burst damage right up front. That'll help soften them up. They're not quite as good as the Dwarf Warriors, obviously, but if we have these 5, they'll kind of try to hold the line. Then we're going to fill it up with Quarrelers and Grudge Throwers. And I think what we might try to do is skip Longbeards. So in Mount Squighorn, what we do is Sparring Chamber. You can go to level 3 and get Longbeards, which are great. You could use Longbeards well into the campaign, but it might be better just to see what we could do. Again, this gambling of go big or go home could come back to bite me. But let's go with that for now. So let's see. Karak has 1 more turn before we can start on our siege workshop. And there we go. We got the throngs done, so let's get this military training. Since, like I said, we're going to use those Dwarf Warriors for a lot longer, it's probably good just to get that right now. Karak will get the Gem 2 and a Siege Workshop, and we'll get a Trinket Maker, and we'll go for this growth. You don't have to worry too much about Karaz from a... it's got one of the best garrisons. It's got built-in walls already in it, so you don't have to worry too much about losing it just from sieges, and then we can usually get over there in time. So we'll just kind of wait. We'll see what happens. This might come back and bite us if they jump over with a big army, but we'll learn from it. Alright, it says siege upgrade available. Settlement upgrade available. Siege. Can't read today. Alright, so that's saying that we could, we want to get Quarrelers, so we're going to upgrade this right away. And this will be good money. We don't have to worry about that. 1 more turn, and then so we're 2 turns away from the Grudge Throwers. So we'll see if, I think right now is about the time they jump over. We could be in trouble. Oh, nope, there's Confederation. Grimgor and Red Fangs. They confederated, which actually is really good for us. Because the Red Fangs a lot of times would jump over here. Because we're not actually at war with Grimgor yet, which is surprising. Obviously it's deteriorating, right? Because we got the aversion there at night -60, but it might be a couple turns before they declare war. So that gives us a chance to really build up our army. And if we look over here, see they're still building their military presence. They've got 11 there, so they haven't come down. A lot of times these guys will come rushing down. They'll jump over. They'll come and raid. Our territory here extends down. You can see right along here. which is kind of annoying because they can just come and raid right here, and then we have to jump down and jump back, or they'll sit over here and raid, or they'll sit here and raid. This extends all the way up, I think, to about here. So it's this, you know, Squighorn's got this kind of T-shaped, sideways T-shaped situation, and it gets kind of annoying when they always are raiding over here. So we typically hang out over here while we're building. If some armies come in from this side, then we bring Gromby over to attack them there.
How can I help?
All right, we're still. Oh, we do have grudge throwers now. All right, so now let's get 3 grudges, 3 grudge throwers, and we should be good. All right, so should be getting those grudge throwers. They shouldn't, unless they declare war and jump over, but I think we'll be okay for at least one more turn.
All here are on.
You want us to join the war against the scab? They're going to demand a payment, and then they'll join the war against them. You know, I don't think we need your help. I think you're more worried about them. You're not at war with anybody, huh? Boy, I think you should save your strength there, buddy. I guess 100 gold wouldn't have been that bad. That would have been a... I have a feeling they're going to be at war pretty soon anyways. And I kind of want my 100 gold. Ooh, positive growth. That's a good one. That's really good to start. Okay, research available. So now, I think we want to get these... start working towards missile strength, and we'll get over to ammo wagons, and then we'll start working on our economy. These early, you know, there's only the only time these are really helpful is in the early game. So let's utilize it. Even though we could get a jump start to try to go, let's try to utilize these abilities in the early game. Pillars. I don't think I want to upgrade this yet. Sometimes pillars gets taken over. And I want to get this to level 2 right away, because then we can start working towards Thunderers. We won't need them right away, but it's good to kind of get this raised up, because here we can start getting organ guns at level 4 and build up, but let's do that. Okay, so we got 3 grudge throwers. That's great. Great start. Let's do 2 more. We'll do 2 more. We'll skip that and see where we're at for turn 7. See, we're still not at war with Grimgor yet. Okay, Brakvar's at war with Creeping Death. That's this newer area they added in over here. Uh-oh, unhappy populace. -4 public order, which is already in the tank anyway, so we'll just get a rebellion a little earlier, which can just be good experience. So this is what Brakvar and Creeping Death, they added this Forest of Gloom in with this Creeping Death faction, which kind of makes sense. This is always kind of like a dead area. You'd march over here and then use this to leap over this lake to get up here to Zufbar and take some things out, but kind of was a interesting spot. So they kind of been adding a little bit more density in on some of this. They did the same on the Badlands here a while back, where they added some towns kind of in the middle, so it wasn't just this huge wasteland. Still kind of sparsely populated, which maybe makes sense. It's the Badlands after all. All right, enough about that. Let's see where we're at here. We guys ready to go up here, and then we will also let's get some more growth. I really want to focus on that. 3 turns until this can grow up or go up in level. Alright, let's see where we're at. Haven't had any other wars. Confederation, Bloody Hands and Scabby Eye. Alright. Actually, as they confederate, I think it actually makes them weaker, because they can't support as many armies then. So sometimes I think it's better as they confederate, right? Because they may only have 2 or 3 armies now, versus 2 or 3 armies in each faction. So now we're going to have to deal with Wuzug and Grimgor. They'll eventually start The green tide will start rolling in.
I am the White Dwarf.
Do I upgrade this or not? I think I'm going to save the money. It gives us only 7 more growth. In the bigger areas, I'll do that, but I'm always afraid that we're going to lose one of these as we get going. Until we start seeing them coming in and I get my army situated. If I had this filled with quarrelers right now, no problem. I know I can defend about anything. Gromby's not quite to lightning strike. We're only maybe a couple battles away from that. Bad's doing here. They still have their military presence, so they're still staying up here. They'll eventually come down. Sometimes I like to do this battle now. We only have 1 quarreler. We're one turn away. And then we recruit. So by turn 11 we could take this. This gives us a runesmith. And it'll be some experience for Gromby as well. Let's wait a couple turns. See if we can't get 1 round of quarrelers, of 3 quarrelers in on the next recruitment cycle. And then we could go take this out, unless they decide. Well, they declared war on Vulcan, who's a Skaven faction, kind of in the middle of the mountain range down by them, which is good. It'll kind of distract them a little bit. Alright, so now we got our 5 recruitment cost reduction, which is kind of nice. It'll help a little bit as we recruit 3 of them next round. We'll get some missile strength is next, and then we'll go ammo wagons. Alright, so that's upgraded. Great, our army's looking pretty good. Let's grab our 3 quarrelers. And 1 more turn and we can upgrade this. Let's just wait. Okay. Alright. I didn't look. I should have looked again. Creeping Death got destroyed. Brakvar took them out. You can see here they had their flags now on Forest of Gloom, which is fine. That'll really... Actually, that's probably good for us, because then Brakvar's not getting hit from 2 sides, and they aren't at war yet with anyone. They're gonna... It'd be nice if these guys get to war with these guys, and this will be a big battling ground. I want these guys to be strong, but not too strong, because you don't want them just to start taking over where they won't confederate. But eventually I'd like to get Brakvar as a port. This port can give us a lot of trade resources. But for now, I think we will... Let's take a look up here. So their military presence is down to 4, so they have moved out. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to step out of the town.
How can I help?
And we've got a good enough army. We're going to take this... We're going to teleport over and do this. We're going to get some experience out of it. Hopefully it won't beat our army up too bad. See, they've got a Doom Diver. So what I'll do is I'll harass them. You'll see this, so I kind of talked to that a little bit. But this should be a pretty easy fight. It's more than just this. They've got reinforcements coming in. But I do get that runesmith, which I can use for scouting to kind of keep track of one end of the really early on. And if he's got a good stat or trait, typically it seems like we'd be getting research rate and things like that. But if you get one that's like tough or is good in melee, you could actually put him in your army, because you do want a runesmith in your army eventually. Alright. Here's our grudge throwers. Oh, I love these guys. Not that accurate, but man, they are just great in the beginning game. Alright, let's set up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up. I know there's a group coming from here. Don't want to set them up too much, so they'll kind of take them out, but they still can take out some things there. These guys will do the same as we have a group coming from here. I've done this battle quite a few times. Get our quarrelers set up. Our dwarf warriors set up. We're going to start with our flamers over there. These guys are going to have to beeline it for the Doom Diver. Let's spread these guys out. Let's throw their satchels. And then, like I said early on, I like to put these other miners in the back. They're not that useful, and this will be their last kind of hurrah for us. there'll be ogres or trolls that'll come running in from the back. So this is good to take them out, and then we'll send a couple of core wreck our grudge throwers. Get those guys set up there. These guys won't really need to be used right now. We set our quarrelers up like this to take them out. Alright, let's go. So I'm going to send this guy down like this and take on that Doom Diver. Okay, so here's that first ambush. This is kind of weird not having my map. I usually kind of watch to see when where my helicopter's going here. But these guys will just pretty much take them out. And they are... Alright, that micro's done. Let's bring these guys back. Usually I don't have them come over and help over there because they just don't get back in time. Now this guy can probably even back out, but they're already starting to shoot. Oh, see, now that takes the Doom Diver's attention. Let's bomb them a little bit here. So now these guys have to make a decision. Do they come over and help their Doom Diver, which sometimes they'll send an archer back here to kind of work on it. But okay, let's jump back over here. Okay, now they're finally coming in. These guys should take them out pretty easily. I kind of watch the health here, even though I can't see the map. Move to attack. Let's get our quarrelers back. Probably go charge those guys. Got some wolf riders coming in. Ooh, get a little close for comfort here. Let's have these guys go. They still have some charges left. Alright, that routed them. Go after those guys. Pull them back a little bit. How are these guys doing? Oh, they've taken them out. They're doing really well. So these guys, they aren't really doing a whole lot right now. We've got two quarrelers taking out their archers here. Should take out their archers. Let's have these guys focus there. You guys help focus there, even though your flamers. These guys are ready for the trolls are coming in. Jeez, just making sure we're coming. Oh, they're broken. They're beware. Get those miners, they're going to charge in. They're going to get pretty much wrecked by the trolls. Look at them just taking tons of damage. But all they're there is to keep them from making to the front line here of grudge throwers. Taking them out, and then these archers probably can turn around and help too. Since these guys are getting wrecked. Usually I don't seem to get wrecked that bad, but there we go. Now we're taking their amount. There we go. Did our reinforcements? Our buddies didn't even show up. Usually the whatever peak. That's the first time I think I've ever seen that where they never came in. I think we beat them so quick. I think it might be time based. That's wild. It's bizarre actually. Everpeak Air Corps. They didn't even come in. Interesting. Usually they come in right about the time those trolls come in. They kind of appear at that same time. That Doom Diver didn't do anything. That's the one nice thing I do like about this. Now, eventually, we'll replace him with some more quarrelers, and then our grudge throwers will have to trade off on some of that, or we just take some of the damage. It just depends. Or we can sometimes cheese it and have our lord or legendary lord or someone else run out there and have them use that ammo up. Not opposed to cheesing some of the strats. All right, so we're gonna keep our replenishment. Ambush the Thundering Falls. We got a Dragon Helm, 5 armor, 25 fire resistance. So that'll be good for sitting in front of drakes. So let's grab an Absolutely Relentless for campaign movement range. And let's also go take a look at his gear. Let's give him that Dragon Helm. Nothing here yet from him. Squig could go to 3, but we are going to definitely do Karak. Oh, we got to take a look at our... What do we get? We got Belgern Dumb Tamer. And he is a Cunning, which is Ambush Success Chance. This is terrible trait. Enables poison attacks, ambush success chance 10% in local armies. What I don't know is that means he has to be in the army, or does he just need to be in that province? Which I think it's just the province based on his local armies within plural. So he is definitely not going to be one I want to put in. Poison attacks, I actually don't know much about that one. Enables poison attacks. What's it say on it? Nothing. I don't know how good that is. I don't think it's that good. I don't typically use it. What we're going to do with him then is we're going to use him as a scout for right now. He'll be good to come down here and just kind of keep an eye on things. See if anyone's coming up from this way. We'll scout down here a little bit. And then what we'll eventually do, oh, there's Nashrak right there. Because we jumped over, we were able to see him when we teleported over. So he is probably, he's either going to come down. We might do here. I'm going to see if I can bait him. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to go into ambush stance. Actually, if he comes over, he'll be in underway stance, so we'll intercept him.
I'm here now.
I kind of want to. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I either come over here and ambush, which gives me double chance, gives me a chance to ambush, but also gives me a chance to ambush him or take him an underway. I think I'd probably go to underway stance. The other thing is I could do is just back off a little bit, let him jump over, because he can come over to any of this spot, and then I can get 3 more quarrelers, so I can basically have my army pretty much ready to go. And then I can choose, if he'll be in underway stance when he comes out of this, I can attack him in underway stance. But he also might jump down here, so let's just move back into range here. And I'm going to get rid of these miners. Thank you for your service.
How can I help?
And then let's grab 3 more quarrelers. So we'll have 5 front line. We'll use these guys as a front line. We'll have our Iron Drakes, damage dealers. We'll keep this guy for a little bit. It's not, his upkeep is 180. It's I look at it. For another grudge sword, but we'll keep him. They can be good at harassing some different units. And then we'll have 7 quarrelers. This will be the bulk of our army until we can get a runesmith, which will probably replace this guy first. And then we'll start getting some thunderers, which will come in and replace some quarrelers as they get more armor. And then we're going to try to hold these guys for right now until we can get Thanes and Iron Breakers to be our front line. So typically my end game Doom stack will be 5 Iron Breakers, 2 Thanes, a Runesmith, an Engineer. So basically 5 heroes, 5 frontline infantry, 4 Thunderers, 1 Iron Drake, and 5 Grudge Throwers. So basically 5 artillery, 5 ranged, which will be 4 Thunderers and an Iron Drake, 5 warriors, or 5 Iron Breakers and 5 Heroes. So it's kind of a decent split, and it seems like a light amount of infantry, but those Thanes can do a lot of tanking as well. They kind of tank mobs on front, and then the Thunderers will do damage. So that's just a little bit of a preview of what will be going on there. All right, let's end this turn. Let's see what Nashrek does. Confederation, Bloody Hands, and Teeth Snatches. The Teeth. Oh boy, see they brought 2 down in. And Barak Var went to war. Make him take the oath or shameful display. We want to be in good hands with Zufbar, so let's forbid him. It's going to hurt our public order, but... Alright, so this is where Lightning Strike would be very helpful, which we don't have. But we've got a strong army here, so what we'll do is we're going to attack him. We're going to attack Nashrek in the underway. He'll have reinforcements coming in, but he will be taken out, and then these guys might retreat, but let's do that. Alright, let's do this battle. Let's attack Nashrek. We don't have Lightning Strike, otherwise I'd Lightning Strike this if it was, and then that would take this army out of it. Alright, let's see. Ancestor Ruin. Who do we want to be unbreakable? We're going to put him on these guys. I think just to have them hold the line. These guys have Vanguard deployment, that'll be fine. Alright, let's go. Let's do this. I don't think I'm going to have to corner camp. I'm not opposed to doing that as well. That's a good strategy against lots of... and the Grudge Throwers. Their reinforcements are going to come in. They might even... I think we're going to back up to be at our max range, because they're going to try to form up the army. Actually, just to be safe, I'm going to corner camp. Got this here. We'll corner camp here. You know, I'm playing on legendary difficulty here. We want to... Oh, come on. Okay. And we can't pause, so let's do it. Do it right off the bat. Oh, don't forget ground beef. Alright, let's get in this corner. Let's take a look at what we got here. Where's blasting charges? There. I kind of want to put them over here. I'm afraid that's going to be the point they break, though. A lot of their troops are going to... They're going to kind of hit this side first, but they'll have guys come around. These guys might be good to chuck at the cavalry that comes around. Alright, let's get started here. And then we can form up a little bit. A little bit more.
Artillery ready. Moving out. Moving out. Go. Now. Move up.
We're gonna get our Iron Drakes right in front there.
Move.
Keep them kind of square. They can turn a lot easier if they're squared up. Alright, miners. Oh, wait a second here. Actually,
Nothing can stop us.
we're going to spread these guys out a little bit.
Go for the ancestors. Dwarf warriors, strike out.
We can do that. We might keep these guys as a block, and they can rotate back and forth. Ground B.
Strike out. No need to guard. Strike out. Quarrelers. Let the vengeance begin. For the ancestors.
But this is kind of keeping our
Demand blood.
flank is a little exposed there.
Quarrelers.
Quarrelers. They are.
We demand blood. Dwarf warriors.
Alright. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking here. I'm trying to decide whether I want these guys to... it depends on how many cavalry they actually have. I don't think they're going to have too much. Ashrak's getting smoked. Oh, that Unbreakable is a castable ability. I thought it just had a augment on that guy who got it, but I was wrong on that. We're just going to have to watch this flank a little bit. So I might need to micro this a little bit over here. I don't want these cavalry to come in and get in with our artillery. Our artillery is definitely going to soften them up here. That's why I wasn't too worried about these two armies. They're kind of like, what are these guys doing, hugging the wall there?
Charge! Move now! On the way! On those dwarf
Yeah, their cavalry's not really thinking about doing much there. In fact, why don't I move these guys over here? They could be additional insurance against that cavalry charge if they do have it over there. Gosh, they're making good. Look at that. These grudge stores. It's our first time using them, right, in this campaign. So you can see how much damage they're doing. They're softening them up. We've got a lot of quarrelers. I'm not even going to micro them right now. I'm just going to let them do their thing. God, these guys didn't decide to come over. See, these warriors, you don't have to worry about them much. You just kind of let them be. Then you can worry about microing your Iron Drakes, a couple of these special units, that kind of thing. Already some broken. Nope, just stay put, guys. This is what I was afraid of. Let's...
Move to attack! The plunge unites! Scarf! Dwarf warriors!
Yep, they got him behind me. Oh, they can run through that? Oh, that looked like a, oh man, that was not good. Get some, Alright, now we got some issues going on.
Drag them! For the ancestors! Move off! Ranged firepower ready!
They're holding okay, they're not doing great. Let's get some support over there. Do we get these guys taken out? They're still running around in our...
For the carrier's anchor!
Get those guys over there. Still running around in my grudge throwers here. Which is okay right now, because they took a little damage, but they weren't going to do a whole lot more right during that battle right now. Oh, jeez, these guys are...
Joey, attack! Yes! For Grombrindal! Cover them!
Boy, this is not going well.
Ready to strike!
These warriors are almost done. Get over there and help them.
Come on!
Oh, it's because... Oh, Nastrak's over there. That's why. Get these guys pulled back. I don't want to lose them. Oh, they got two of their bosses over there.
Move! Nothing can stop us!
They retreated. Jeez, I didn't... It was not the best, cleanest victory. I will admit that. It was not the cleanest victory. Let's play out a little bit. Boy, that I can't wait for Longbeards. This is, that took out the front line a little bit. Close victory is all. Yeah, those warriors took a beating. I did not notice that Nashrak and one of their other big boss was over there. They were wrecking him. Couple mistakes there. I didn't realize that that brazier that was there was that giant flaming pot was gonna keep it from. I thought that was kind of like a rock where it would be kind of used to my advantage. I would have put something different there. Took a little of my focus away from the front lines there on that left side, so I was focused on the right. So I guess that's one legendary difficulty learning is not having that mini map. You're kind of focused on different stuff. So I didn't lose the unit though. That's a good thing. It's gonna take him forever to heal, but let's do leadership. All right, so that should be. I thought that would have taken him out if he was in underway stance. I guess I didn't intercept him. I went and attacked him while he's in underway stance. So I suppose that's the difference. Alright, so now we get lightning strike. So that's very timely. Alright, so what we're going to do here is they can only come into there. He ran down here. I think we're going to head back to town to heal. One thing I could do is ambush right here, but I've got some guys that are pretty beat up. I might replace these guys with some warriors. You can see how much damage they took. Now they were in the bunch of stuff hit them, but I don't think they're going to be as good as a dwarf warrior. So I won't be able to ambush. But I think what I'm thinking here is that he can't come in and attack Squighorn on this turn. He'll probably sit here and raid is what he'll do. Then I can come out and try to ambush. And see what this other army does. So I can't get to him on this turn. No. Let's go. We're gonna go to town. It allows us to heal up a little bit more. It's only 3 turns to replenish then. I am gonna. A couple things I could do. I could risk not having this front line go for 4 right now, which is a little scary. To replace this warrior right now. Or I could get rid of my gyrocopter. I think I might do that and then try to get another warrior and then I can disband this guy. Do we need to disband the selection? Yes. Alright, let's do that. Let's grab one more warrior. And then if he gets recruited, we'll get rid of him. Now, I won't be able to replace him with a gyrocopter. We'll probably grab another quarreler then, just to load him up, or leave that spot for the runesmith. And the runesmith is down here. He's kind of scouting for us. Let's have him come around here and just take a look at what they've got. And we'll probably have him just come up through here. Just kind of do a quick scouting round. Okay, so with that, I think we're going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for tuning in to my first legendary walkthrough. See you on the next one.